In crazy breaking news, Steven Schumacher has left his role at Stoke City. It comes after a bad run of form for the team in the Championship. Shall we take a look at how they got on this weekend? And obviously, there'll be a full match review coming out of that game. We'll be talking all about the Championship coming out later today. But let's take a look into that. So we look at the league table for Stoke City. They're currently sitting on 6 points after 5 games, which is not horrific, but we have been told just this morning that Stoke City, Steven Schumacher, has left his role. Now, if we look, as you can see by all these tabs up here, I'm just about to film my preview for the upcoming weekend. I've just finished filming the review of the weekend, and you obviously look at the fixtures they've had, and it's not as if it's been an easy bunch. You obviously go back to the first game of the season, which started off here versus Coventry, where they picked up a really good 1-0 win versus Coventry City, and then a 2-0 win versus Carlisle, but then they've gone on back-to-back defeats to end August versus Watford and West Brom. You then obviously move forward where they win 5-0 versus Middlesbrough in the EFL Cup. A 1-0 win over Wayne Rooney's Plymouth Argyle, and then another defeat to Oxford United. And if we do look at the squad, they do have a really nice squad there at Stoke City. Victor Johansson cost them a fair chunk. Ender Stevens, Ben Gibson, Ben Wilmot. Obviously Bosson Lowell, obviously Ashley Phillips as well. Some really, really good players in here who they've bought in over the course of the transfer window. You've obviously got Tom Cannon, who was of interest to a ton of different Championship clubs. And I have to say, Steven Schumacher walking away from his role, if we look at it, 32 matches in charge. He only joined in December of 2023, not even 365 days in charge. 32 matches he's taken charge of, 13 wins, 6 draws and 13 losses, 41 win percent for him. Now, I'm not quite sure why he's decided to leave. Shall we head on over to Twitter and see what he said in Stoke City's review? If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that notification bell to stay tuned for all of my latest Derby County and EFL Championship and League One content heading your way. There's obviously a lot going on in the Championship right now. We've got the match reviews coming out later on today and match previews later on in the week. So make sure you've hit that subscribe button and turned on that notification bell. So here we have then the official announcement from Stoke City. Steven Schumacher has left his position as head coach of Stoke City. View club announcement via this link below. So we're going to click onto that and see what they've had to say about Steven Schumacher departing the Potters. And as it is loading, what have they had to say? Let's click accept to these cookies because who cares about them? Let's get rid of that. Let's see. John Walters has had to say, my role as sporting director is to make tough decisions and serve the long-term interests of Stoke City. After ongoing discussions with John Coates, we feel that this is the right time for change to bring success to the club. We have a young and dynamic squad that is eager to develop and a clear vision of how we achieve success, and we hope to announce a new appointment shortly. We will need the fans, staff and players united in support to achieve our goals. As always in football, these decisions are difficult and we wish Steven and his staff the best for the future. With Mark Hughes, Chris Cohen, Peter Kavanagh, Elliot Turner having also left the club, Alex Morris and Ryan Shawcross will take caretaker charge of the team. Chair Chris Coates added, Stephen, Mark, Chris, Peter and Elliot depart with our thanks for their efforts and with our best wishes for their future careers. We have faith in the squad of players we have assembled and firmly believe they can bring success to Stoke City this season. I continue to be hugely thankful for the support, for the club's fans, for their loyal and passionate support. Now, what a crazy turn of events at Stoke City. I thought it was really early when Ryan Lowe left at the start of this season, and we've just seen another managerial shift here with Steven Schumacher. I believe he moved on from Plymouth Argyle when he came into the role, and for me, it's been really interesting watching this Stoke City side because I think they've put together a really decent Championship level squad and a team that can compete at this level, but whether they'll be aiming for playoffs or promotion, I think that's maybe a little bit out of reach. It's going to be really interesting to see who they do end up picking up over the course of the next few weeks, because this is obviously a massive deal to get rid of your manager at this point of the season. Obviously, as John Walters says, it's his job to make difficult and tough decisions, and unfortunately this one falls at the feet of Steven Schumacher. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do choose to do next. Obviously, you look at the likes of Tom Cannon, who they've brought in, Bosso and Lowell, obviously Ender Stevens and players like that. Some really, really good quality in the squad and potential, which they're going to have to take forward. And obviously, when you look at Stoke City, they are a bit of a sleeping giant. I think the likes of Stoke, Derby County are all, even Swansea City maybe, are a little bit in that sleeping giants category of they've had spells in that first division, well, in the top division, whatever you want to call it, Premier League, Division 1, whatever. And it's one of those for me where sometimes you have to make difficult calls. Now, I think it is a little bit early. Really, after 5 games, there's still 41 games to play, but sometimes when it's wrong and you feel like you just need to make a change, you have to make that as soon as possible. And I think it is going to be interesting to see what happens now with Stoke City. You obviously look at Steven Schumacher moving on, what managers are available. Obviously, the one which comes to my mind straight away is Gary Rowett. However, I don't think he's probably in the direction that Stoke City want to go. Obviously, a previous manager there already. So it is going to be interesting to see where they choose to go with this, because I think it could be a really, really interesting employment decision that they make. Obviously, they've lost a ton of coaching staff as well, with obviously all of Steven Schumacher's staff going, who he brought with him. And it's one of those for me where I really think Stoke City, they've made this call probably 2 weeks too late. They should have made this call after the previous game, heading into the international break. And this has always been my point, especially when you are in the Championship, or if you're a League One club that gets those international breaks. The best thing that you can do if you're going to make a change is make it during those periods. Now, obviously, things for Steven Schumacher haven't necessarily gone great at Stoke City, and I think it's a poison chalice, that job at Stoke City. I thought they started really well and they looked as if they were going to go from strength to strength. Obviously, picking up that 5-0 win in the Cup versus Middlesbrough is certainly one which they'll have gone, oh, we've won 5-0 versus a promotion favourite, really, so we should be able to take this on to new heights. And unfortunately, they've not been able to do that in the games following. Obviously, that defeat versus Oxford at the weekend has sort of put them down the pecking order, really. And it's going to be interesting to see how it does change for them. Obviously, you look at in previous seasons, you've had like Burnley at points were mid-table, but then ended up winning the league once it clicked. And it's one of those for me where I think it's a very, not necessarily a rash decision, because he's been there for a while, and if they don't think it's right, they don't think it's right. You have to make a change, but it's a big decision to make for the Championship. It's a big decision for Stoke City, and obviously heading into their game at the weekend, it's going to be interesting to see if they have a new manager at the helm. Obviously, my full weekend review will be out later on today. It's going to be very interesting to see as we head into the weekend and we head into that preview, if they do have a new manager at the helm for that, or will it be the likes of Ryan Shawcross taking that one? Obviously, Shawcross, a former player and things like that. He knows what he's doing. Has he got the coaching credibility? Maybe not at this point, but would you have said Tom Cleverley does at this point last year? Obviously not. So it's one of those for me. I think Stoke City, maybe not the best decision, but they've made the decision that they think is right for them, what they think is going to take them into the right direction. If you are a Stoke City fan, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Obviously, Steven Schumacher was a big appointment at the time when you appointed him, and it obviously hasn't quite gone to plan. Was John Walters the person who brought him in? You'll have to let me know down in the comments. But before you do that, before you leave your comments down below, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that notification bell. Smash the like button on this video, and I'll catch you in my match review later on today. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.